All right. All right. What is up, guys? We got to send out some notifications here. We got to get the comments pulled up. Let's see. I hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get comments. There we go. Let's head over to the Discord chat. There we go. Send out a few notifications over there. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Think we're good. What's up, Fifi? How you doing, dude? First comment in the stream. What's up, man? I don't know about the king. I don't know about all that. He put me on some good game. Let's see. What's up, PJ? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Also, everybody, yesterday, I'm glad this occurred to me. I'm glad I thought of this. Yesterday, we had an amazing stream. It was awesome. It was excellent. It went on for like 2 hours. Everybody loved it. We went to go upload it, and then for some odd reason, only 2 minutes worth of the stream got uploaded. Now, why only 2 minutes of the stream got uploaded? It's beyond me. It beats me. I have no clue. Just some weird random glitch in the system, I guess. I don't know. I just deleted it. So I don't know why that happened. Hopefully it never happens again. If you're looking for yesterday's stream, eh, really nothing I can do about it. Really nothing I can do about it. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. Hey Wonder Bro, how's it going? Yesterday was a fire stream. I know we were just talking about that. It was it was a great stream, and for some reason my luck, okay, when it got uploaded, it was corrupted or something, and only 2 minutes worth of the stream went up. I don't know why that happened. I apologize. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again, but it's out of my control. Out of my control. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully, we're going to have another good stream today. Anxiety recovery, the little things matter. A lot of people tend to overlook the little things, right? A lot of people tend to overlook the little things. A lot of people are under this false mindset of, what's it going to matter if I do this or do that? That's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. What's it going to matter if instead of obsessing so much today, I go outside? What's it going to matter if I take the trash out today? What's it going to matter if I do that thing I've been putting off for a while? What's it going to matter if I do all these little things, right? A lot of people are under that false mindset. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about that today. Is it okay to fight a thought if it doesn't trigger you? I mean, it's kind of pointless because you can't really technically fight what if thoughts because they're not real, right? Like they're not real. Wayne, thank you so much. Wayne, we haven't even gotten started yet, dude. We're like 3 minutes. We're not even at the 4 minute mark yet. Wayne already coming through with tip goal. Wayne, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Wayne is the MVP. Wayne, 9 times out of 10, Wayne is the MVP, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Let's show some love to Wayne in the chat, man. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing good. I don't even see you in chat, dude. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. PJ, just to kind of elaborate a little bit more on your question, if you know that a thought is completely irrelevant, unhelpful, unsolvable, or irrational, or all of the above, whatever, then treat it as such. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I see it. If you know it's irrational, unsolvable, unimportant, whatever the case may be, then treat it as such. Why waste your energy? That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Why waste your time? Why waste your energy? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now that's not to say that it isn't okay to daydream or to be a positive person if something is actually happening in your life. That's not to say that it's not okay to use your mind. Whatever. But in my opinion, like I said, if you know something is completely irrelevant, irrational, or just downright uncalled for, then treat it as such. You know what I mean? But you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself every single day. Oh, I got to make sure I'm not arguing with any thoughts. This isn't about putting pressure on yourself. This isn't about perfection. It's just pick your battles wisely, kind of thing. Coming from Las Vegas, got to show the love. Hey man, I really do appreciate it. Seriously. Shout out to Wayne. Throw some emojis in the chat. I know the stream hasn't even really gotten started yet, so there's only a handful of us. But throw some emojis in that chat. Wayne coming through with tip goal in a matter of 3 minutes. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, Wonder Bro, had a setback. I've been dealing with a lot of pain in my back and not sleeping, so the next morning I felt faint after the shower and barely made it to bed. Yeah, so, anytime we're dealing with lack of sleep, anytime we've got actual physical pain that's involved, some people get sick. Anytime we're dealing with that, it kind of complicates things a little bit because it makes it a little bit harder to kind of deal with everything if you're going through anxiety. So sometimes when we're dealing with that physical pain or real illness, that can make it a little bit tougher, but you can get right back on track. You can get right back on track. What's up, Will? It's good to see you, dude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, Will? Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, that's a good way to put it, PJ. Pick your battles wisely, dude. Where do you want to invest your energy? If you know something's completely irrelevant, unsolvable, or just downright what's for lack of better word, stupid, then why even waste your energy with it, why even waste your energy with it? So yeah, Amanda, that event is stuck in my head, so you tend to replay it in your head over and over again. Just notice when you're doing that. Notice when you're fighting with those thoughts, and remind yourself it is what it is. There's really nothing I can do about it. Get back into life instead, right? Arm is hurting like a mother. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna get going with the main point of the stream in just a second. Again, I apologize for yesterday's stream not being uploaded. I don't know why that happened. It was out of my control. Hopefully that does not happen again. Hopefully that does not happen again. So today, guys, today, anxiety recovery. The little things matter, right? Anxiety recovery. The little things matter. We're gonna jump into it. So a lot of people out there are under the false belief that the little things don't matter. A lot of people are under the false belief that how's it going to help me in the grand scheme of things if I do these little things? Now, what do I mean by little things? Well, when I say little things and how the little things add up and the little things matter, let's say you get up today and you're like, you know what? It's time to start to leave anxiety in the past. If anxiety wants to be here today, I'm just living my life. I'm refocusing. I'm living my life. If these feelings want to be there, fine. If these thoughts want to be there, fine. I'm not fighting with them. I'm not giving them as much importance. That way my brain does not chalk them up as dangerous, right? And I can start to rewire that brain. If you wake up with that mindset, great. But as you go about your day, chances are, because I was once like this, chances are you're going to have choices to make. Now, let's give some little examples. I get up and I'm on my first day of really dedicating to just living my life and accepting these feelings and thoughts and retraining my brain. And I get up and I go to walk to the bathroom and I see that the trash is full. I need to take the trash out. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I really don't feel like it. I kind of just want to you do what I got to do and head back to my room, head back to the couch, head back to the living room, whatever. I've got a little choice in that moment. I can stop, take the trash out, then go on about my business. Or let's say I'm heading through the kitchen. I got a pile of dishes I need to do in there, and I'm like, man, I really don't feel like it. I really just want to do what I got to do, grab my food, and head on back. Well, I got a choice I can make. I can stop and I can do the dishes, right? Let's say you're laying around on the couch. It's like, oh, I get to choose between going on Google. I really feel like going on Google today. I've got these symptoms and I've Googled them a million times before, but I really feel like going on Google today. I really feel like hopping on the forums today. You got a choice to make. You can hop on the forums, you can hop on Google, or what's better for your brain in the long run though? To do that, to give into that compulsion, or instead to decide, hey, I'm going to put my favorite song on, right? I'm just going to listen to my favorite song. I'm going to refocus a little bit, readjust, get back into life instead of hopping on the forums today, right? These little choices, you encounter these little choices throughout your entire day, right? Whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you're, whatever the case may be, you encounter these tiny little, they look like little choices. These little choices. And in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, well, I just feel so bad that I don't want to do these little things. I don't want to stop and put in that extra effort to clean up the house. I don't want to stop and put in that extra effort to take the trash out. I don't want to stop and put in that extra effort to do the dishes. I don't want to stop and put in that extra effort to make my bed today because of the way I feel. Because of the way I feel, I don't want to do these little things. I've got bigger concerns, right? That's such a common one. The mind tells you, I've got bigger concerns. I don't want to stop and make these little choices to do these little things because in the grand scheme of things, it's not important. That's what your mind's telling you. It doesn't matter, right? It's not going to add up, right? Why do I want to stop and make these little choices today, right? Why do I want to stop and make these little choices today? Why do I want to do these little choices today? Why do that's what the mind tells you. Because you feel so bad. Because you feel so bad. But here's the thing, guys, the little things really do add up. Now, I don't mean you've got to pack your day full of things. I say this all the time because I don't want anyone to try to rush around in a panic trying to fill their days full of activities. That's not what this is about. But these little choices, they add up. These little things that you encounter in your daily life as you're healing, they add up. Because here's the thing, as you decide to, let's say, do the dishes, for example, okay, that's 15 minutes of your time that you're doing something besides being on Google or being on the forums or fighting so much with your thoughts, right? And giving those irrational negative thoughts importance. So I understand that in our daily lives, we can't really fill our days packed full of stuff. I understand there's going to be downtime. I understand that you're not always going to have something that you can actively be doing. That's just not possible, right? I understand that. But the little things, and as you open your eyes, you'll see there's more little things around than you thought that you do matter, and they do add up. It helps get that confidence going. It helps get that motivation going. It helps prove to you that you can live despite the way that you feel. It helps prove to you that at the end of the day, you are the boss of the way that you behave. You are the boss of the way that you conduct yourself. You are the boss of the way that you live despite the way that you feel. So there's multiple reasons why these little things add up. Whether it's you do these things, therefore you spend less time obsessing or giving your thoughts power. You do these things and it helps build confidence. You do these things and it helps get motivation going. You do these things and it just makes you feel a little bit better, right? So there's multiple reasons why the little things help. There's multiple reasons why the little things turn into big things. There's multiple reasons why the little things add up. We could go on and on and on about why the little things matter. But I highly suggest that if you're going to dedicate to the two main keys, right, which is to live your life, because that shows your brain that all is well, right, and to not fight as much with those thoughts, which simply means when you notice a negative thought, you say, there it is. It is what it is, man. I'm going to let it be there if it wants to. I'm not trying to block it out. I'm not trying to push it away. If it wants to be there, that's fine. But me, myself, I've got nothing to say, right? I've got nothing to say. I'm not going to get into this big, long, drawn out argument with this guy, right? It's the same concept. So if you're going to dedicate to the two main keys, which that's the two main keys right there, living life and not fighting as much with those thoughts, this is what's going to tell your brain there's no real danger, right? And in time, it's going to slowly lower that alarm. If you're going to dedicate to that, I want you to understand how important the little things are. I want you to understand how the little things add up. And I don't want you to fall victim to that false mindset that the little things don't matter, because the little things matter. The little things matter, right? And if you're just now starting out on your journey and it's really, really tough for you, if you do nothing else today besides stand in the mirror and comb your hair, I'm proud of you. If you do nothing else today besides mix it up a little bit and take a shower, or mix it up a little bit and call a friend and talk about something that's not anxiety, or stay off Google a little bit longer today than you normally would. If you have to take baby steps, that's fine. I don't know where you're starting out in your journey, but if you have to take baby steps to cutting out these mental and physical compulsions, that's fine. But as you become the boss of your life, as you become the boss of your own life and you're no longer pampering to anxiety and trying to make anxiety happen, happy, right? As you start to dedicate to this, I do want you to understand the main point of today's stream. I do want you to understand that the little things do matter. And although they may seem redundant, although they may seem kind of ridiculous, the little things add up. I know, according to the way that you feel right now, that it seems totally pointless to do these little things and to make these little choices as you move throughout your day because you do feel so bad. I know it seems completely pointless in the grand scheme of things, but this is going to help in multiple ways, as we just discussed earlier. As you do these little things, and I'll go over why they help one more time. You're going to get more confidence. You're going to get more motivation going. You're going to prove to yourself that you can, right? And you're most importantly, you're going to show your brain over time by doing these little things that you can, right? That you can. The little things turn into the big things, guys. All right. Now, this stream is mainly directed at my people that are just now getting going. This stream is mainly directed at my people that are at the bottom of the totem pole. They're not really doing anything besides couch surfing or laying in bed all day on the forums. The little things matter. And if you have to go in baby steps, that's fine. I never tell anybody that you got to be perfect. I never tell anybody that you can't take baby steps because I understand how shit it feels, right? I completely understand how shit it feels. And that's why I will never tell anyone that you got to be perfect. And that's why I will never tell anyone that you can't take baby steps. But I want you to understand if you're going to dedicate to the two main keys, which is living your life, that's cutting back on the physical compulsions because you're too busy doing things that you would normally do. You're too busy mixing it up. You're too busy living your life. And number two, not fighting with your thoughts. If you're going to do that, not fighting with your thoughts as much. I've been using the word as much recently because you don't have to be perfect at that either. As you dedicate to these two main things, I want you to kind of keep in the back of your mind somewhere that the little things matter. So as you're making choices throughout your day, right? And we're all confronted with little choices to make throughout our day. And you've got this voice in the back of your head telling you, "Well, what's that going to matter if I do that? I feel so bad. What's that going to help? What's that going to matter?" As you've got that little voice trying to sabotage you in the back of your head, I want you to understand and I want my voice to be there, right? Telling you, "Hey, remember, the little things matter." All right, you guys. So, I know how it feels to be where you are. I know how it feels like doing these little things won't add up. I know how it feels to have that voice in your head telling you, this is pointless to do this because of the way that I feel. Why should I do this? But just replace that voice with my voice. All right? The little things do matter, and the little things turn into big things. Right, guys? So, to sum the main point of this stream up, what are the two main keys? Living your life how you would normally live it, or even mixing it up, being somebody that you want to be, doing things you wouldn't normally do. Maybe you want to mix it up a little bit. That's fine. It's your life, right? Living life and not fighting with those thoughts as much. I've been throwing the words as much in there because I don't want anyone to feel like they got to be perfect. I don't want anyone to put too much stress on themselves. So as you're living your life and not fighting with those thoughts as much and you're being the person that you want to be, despite anxiety, I just want you to kind of take this stream with you and have it somewhere in there in the back of your mind, me telling you that the little things matter. All right, you guys. So live your life. Don't fight as much with those negative thoughts. Don't give them importance because what you fight with is then chalked up as dangerous and or important by your brain, right? So I hope this stream helps somebody out there. I hope this gives you a little bit of confidence, a little bit of motivation today, no matter where you are on your recovery journey. And with that being said, let's read some comments. How is everybody doing today? Drop your comments. Let's see. Let's see. In the yesterday's stream, you talked about dealing with guilt and shame regarding past events in life and the anxiety generated by that. Can you repeat that? So, regret, guilt, shame. This is all amplified. This is all amplified by a tired nervous system. So, when you are in a tired nervous system, these emotions tend to be amplified because that's what a tired nervous system does. It tends to amplify everything. And that includes other emotions like guilt, shame, or regret. So, on one hand, you don't want to be too bluffed by the extreme nature of these feelings because they might feel a bit extreme while you're in a tired nervous system. So, on one hand, you definitely want to keep in mind that it's just amplified by your tired nerves. That way, you don't give it too much importance. And on the other hand, we do have to come to a point in our lives, and we do have to come to grips and terms with the fact that uncertainty is a part of life, and the past is a part of life, and the uncertain future, the so-called future, is a part of life, right? At some point, we do have to come to grips and terms with the fact that uncertainty is simply a part of life. But on the other hand, I want you to remember that these emotions are also being amplified by tired nerves, right? I do all the crap I thought was helping. I'm not on forums. Sounds like you're doing better, but yet I know in the back of my head, without obsession, I'm not healed. So at this point, you could just be telling yourself, right, that you're not healed. Becoming obsessed with recovery is just another obsession that I don't want you to give too much power to. So becoming obsessed with recovery itself in the terms healed or not healed can become just as much of an obsession as anything else. And I want you to remember that. And it's something that I also don't want you to give much power to, just like any other negative thought as you live your life, right? The two main keys will always apply regardless of the context of these irrational thoughts, right? What's up, Wonder Bro? Wonder Bro, so close to 10K. Guys, it's starting to become a little bit painful to talk because I've got a tooth all the way in the back. It's like my very back tooth, and it's really, really sharp because I chipped a small piece of it. I don't know how, but I chipped a small piece of it. I can feel it with my tongue, but it's really, really sharp. And until that starts to dull down a little bit, it's starting to cut the back of my tongue. Like I can actually start to taste blood at this point, like just a little bit. So it might become more and more increasingly difficult for me to speak, but at some point that I'm sure that chip will eventually go down. So if I start to stumble over my words or not open my mouth as much, it's because it makes it a little bit easier for me to talk. Just stopping by to say hello, wishing everyone a nice evening. I healed thanks to my man Chris. That's awesome, Peter. Keep it up, dude. Keep living your life. You guys have to realize that you are the boss despite your anxiety, and that's what it really comes down to. Not worrying so much about the way that you feel as far as anxiety is concerned, not worrying too much about the thoughts that pop into your head, and just living your life instead. Right? That's probably the simplest way to put it. What did we say yesterday? What you feed grows. I'm trying to repeat some of the points that we made yesterday because it was an excellent stream. Um, I'm so upset that it didn't upload for some reason, but that's a good way to put it. If you want to make it as simple as possible, which I've always tried to make it as simple as possible, what you feed grows, or what you fight grows. There's another way to put it. So, as you're experiencing these thoughts and feelings, just remember, don't give them as much importance. Instead, live your life. Wayne dropping the Watts quotes. Nice, dude. Love it. Love it. What's up, Cade? So close to 10K. Yeah, I know, dude. Speaking of which, how close are we now? We're like monitoring it. We're like tracking it every day now. We are at 9,826, guys. We are so close. We are, oh my gosh. I can taste it. I can taste it. If you're watching this stream now and you're debating with yourself, should I subscribe? Should I not subscribe? This is your sign. This is your sign to subscribe. I'm not so often on the streams like I used to be because private life. How have you been, bro? It's okay, dude. You know, like I always tell people, once you get to a point where you're like a bird that's ready to leave the fucking nest, right? If you want to do that, go right ahead. I'm proud. I'm glad. I'm glad. So, but I do appreciate you checking back in though. It's good to see you. I've been good. Anxiety at night, what tips you have for that? Sometimes I find it creeping up at night. So whether, we've talked about this before in the past, whether you experience anxiety during the day, during the afternoon, during the morning, during your night, doesn't really matter. The two main keys apply. Right, so you don't have to fall into too deep of a obsession. What do I do when this time approaches? You start to really overthink it. You start to even dread certain periods of the day. But just understand that the two keys apply regardless. Live your life. Don't fight so much with those thoughts. Right. How was your day? My day's been good so far, dude. It's been good. It's a beautiful day here. I spent a lot of it outside. You couldn't tell because I'm always so pale. I'm like a vampire, dude. You could not tell that I've spent so much time in the sun today. You can kind of see it in my face a little bit, but beautiful day here. How's your day been, Will? I leave the nest a lot. That is okay. That is okay. I always tell people, hey, if you get to a point in your life where you're satisfied with your all, you're ready to just move on with it all and leave it all behind, you don't ever have to come back. So, if that's the choice you make, I'm proud of it. I support it. But I do miss you. I do miss you. So, so close to 10K, guys. So freaking close. It's right around the corner. Right around the corner. It feels so good. Jerry, thank you so much for the $5 tip, bro. You must have went directly through the PayPal, so I missed it. But thank you so much for the $5 tip. Says, can you repeat the point of yesterday's stream, Chris, in dealing with past life events, trauma? It really hit home. Thanks. So I caught that tip a little bit late. Thank you so much for that. I did address that earlier, but we'll address it again just to kind of drive it home. Thank you so much for that, Jerry. Let's get you added up to the stream MVPs, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I caught that a little bit late. Let's see. I've been healed for like a year and a half now. Can't even recognize myself in a positive way. Whenever someone mentions anxiety problems, I send them your way, man. I'm forever grateful. That is awesome, dude. I'm very scared right now. Well, the point is to get with it, right? The point is to get with it. If you're scared, you're scared. So a lot of people say, what am I doing wrong? Like PJ says, I don't know. I know you don't know my life, but you have any clues where I could be going wrong? Well, where you're going wrong and where you could be going wrong is that you got to get with it. So as you're living your life and you're not fighting as much with these thoughts, you may still be triggered. And that's okay. But when you start asking yourself questions like, am I going wrong somewhere? Which I understand you got to learn. I understand you got to learn. But when you start asking yourself questions, like let's say I wake up and I've been dedicating to the two main keys, which are pretty straightforward. I'm living my life and I'm cutting back on mental and physical compulsions. I'm not arguing so much with thoughts, which is giving them importance. The brain sees them as dangerous when we do this. As I'm dedicating to this, let's say I wake up tomorrow and I'm still feeling a bit rough, but then I start asking myself, well, where am I going wrong? That's where you're going wrong. Worry is anxiety. Anxiety is worry, right? So let's say I'm dedicating to this, and a week later I still feel a little bit rough, and then I start asking myself, what am I missing? Am I missing something with this whole acceptance thing? Am I missing something with these whole two main keys? Then you start obsessing about it. Where am I going wrong? Where am I going wrong? That's where you're going wrong. Can you see the ironic cycle here, right? Can you see the ironic cycle? As soon as we start to feel a little bit rough, or as soon as we start to have a quote unquote bad day, or as soon as we start to have moments, we immediately fall into the trick, which is asking ourselves where we're going wrong or what we can do to escape it. And worry is anxiety, anxiety is worry. That's where you're going wrong by even asking the question, right? That's the ironic part of this whole cycle. As you live your life, right, and stop fighting so much with the thoughts and the feelings, and you're just living your life, you're being the boss despite anxiety, your brain is learning. But if you're not feeling 100% and you're obsessing about where you're going wrong, anxiety is worry. Worry is anxiety. That's the same. That's the same concept as giving importance and fighting with a thought about maybe having a heart attack one day. When you fight and give importance to the thought of where am I going wrong, that's the same as fueling or fighting with any thought that's negative, right? Now I understand you got to learn, so you want to know where you're going wrong, but if you've been here for a while now and you know what's up, just live your life and stop fighting with the thoughts. That's pretty straightforward. Then you arguing and giving importance to the thought, where am I going wrong, is the same as you arguing and giving importance to the thought, I might have a heart attack one day. The context is irrelevant to the brain. The brain doesn't care about the context. If you're fighting and arguing with some sort of negative or, whatever thought, a worrisome thought, and you're giving that thought power, then you can expect to feel pretty shitty, right? So over time, you have to understand that the context is really irrelevant when it comes to these irrational, negative, worrisome thoughts. If you're given some sort of power and importance and a lot of obsession, a ton of obsession to any kind of negative or worrisome thought, even if that thought's about recovery itself, then you're still not using one of the two main keys, which is to not fight as much with those negative thoughts, right? So I hope that makes sense. As you get on with your life and live your life despite the anxiety, which is going to prove to your brain there's no real danger. And as you practice not fighting with those thoughts as much, right? That includes thoughts about recovery too, right? That includes thoughts about recovery too. That includes thoughts about recovery too. There's nothing more I can tell you. There's nothing more that I can tell you besides you have to become self-aware of what negative thoughts you're giving power to. And that includes thoughts about why am I not healed yet? That includes thoughts about where am I going wrong? If you're living your life and you're not fighting with those thoughts as much, congrats. You don't have to climb a mountain. There's no goat that you have to sacrifice, right? There's no magic chalice that you have to find, right? If you're living your life and you're getting on with your day and you're doing little things and you're doing things that you enjoy and you're just living your normal life and you're not fighting with those thoughts as much, giving them as much importance, then there's nothing more to be said, right? There's really nothing more to be said. So you have to understand that the same concept applies regardless of the thought. If you're sitting around worried about why am I not healed yet, that's probably what's keeping you stressed. That's probably what's keeping you stressed, right? That's probably stressing you out a bit. You see what I'm saying? That's probably stressing you out a bit, which then leads you to the conclusion that yes, it must be true, right? Right? It then leads you to that conclusion. All right, guys, we're going to switch to post stream for a minute. She says you've helped tremendously, Chris. That's awesome, Jerry. Because you got to remember, guys, worry is anxiety. It doesn't matter what the worry's about. Like it's totally irrelevant what the worry might be about. If you can solve it, solve it. If you can use your mind to solve some real life problem, then great. But if it's unsolvable, then you need to treat it as such. Self-reassurance, there's a difference between having a positive attitude, like today I'm going to kick ass, today I'm going to be the boss despite the anxiety. There's a difference between a positive mental attitude and picking yourself up like that, and I'm burping, and a self-reassurance attitude of, okay, I probably won't experience anxiety today. You get what I'm saying, sitting around worrying about anxiety in a quote unquote, self-assurance way. So there's a difference between a positive mental attitude of I'm the boss today and sitting around worrying about anxiety all day trying to quote unquote reassure yourself, right? There's a huge difference. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. I can pull the comments up right here. I gotta check my tongue out. I gotta make sure my tongue's not bleeding. Yeah, it's cutting into it a little bit. Not bad. Not bad. It's very funny how that works. Hey, who was that? I don't know who that was. I can't see it. Drop it in the chat. Who was that? When I get back to the setup, I'll be able to see who that was. Whoever that was, thank you so much. Is it Ellie? Did I say that right? Ellie? Now I see it. $10 tip. Thank you so much, Ellie. I'm probably not saying your name right, but guys, try to remind me to update that when I get back. Oh, and Dogcoin. What are we talking about? What is that called? It was me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. You guys never have to do that, but it means a ton to me. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you guys. I do appreciate the support so much. What's going on today? Not a whole lot. We're in that post stream. We're just hanging out. What's up, Jessica? What is up? What is up? Welcome, everybody. Sorry, just now able to come on. You don't have to apologize. We're going to get back to that face cam in just a second, guys. Also, remember, we are so close to 10K. I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but I've been waiting for this for a while. So I'm going to keep saying it until we get there. We are so close, guys. So close. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you give it a like. It does help. I don't know why it helps, but it does. And that's fine, Kay. Don't worry too much about this or that. Don't dive too deep with it. And that's really the whole point of this. Don't dive too deep with it. You feel the way that you feel. There's nothing you can do about it. You have the thoughts you have. There's nothing you can do about it. That's really the whole point. What you can do is not give it fuel. It'll take care of itself, right? So don't dive too deep with I was this 3 days ago and now I'm this, right? Right. That would be my biggest tip. Again, huge shout out to all the tippers. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. A lot of people do like that analogy. Best way to clear muddy water is to leave it alone. That applies to your anxious thoughts and feelings, which really just comes down to the two main keys, right? Living life, not fighting with it as much. Man, a lot of people are starting to get into this like this currency stuff. Maybe it's something I should look into. Exactly, Kay. So you can build on that. You don't have to get too discouraged with what's going on today. It doesn't matter, right? A lot of people are starting to look. I need to look into this stuff. I need to look into this stuff, dude. Even my friends are starting to look into this currency stuff. Seems like the way to go. I don't know. It's like taking a risk, right? Because you don't really know. But that's life, I guess. That's life. All right, guys. Let's head back in here and get back on the face cam. Good evening, Carrie. How you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, huge shout out to Wayne. Huge shout out to Ellie. Huge shout out to who else? Gary, I think. Jerry. Thank you. Let's see. Let's get the stream MVPs. What was that? Holy cow! K. Holy shit! Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? K, thank you so much. Holy shit. I did not see that coming. Wow. Thank you. Huge shout out to K. I did not see that coming. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. K coming through with the $100 tip, man. Give her a shout out. Can we spam that chat? Come on, guys. Can we spam that chat with some emojis? Can we spam that chat with some emojis? Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. That is huge. Let's spam that chat. Spam that chat. Spam it. Let's get it going. Thank you, Kay. Holy shit. We got it. We got to get you up there with the stream MVPs. We have got to get you up there with the stream MVPs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Says, wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. PJ over here still obsessing, man. He's still obsessing. I give PJ a hard time sometimes. Hey, because me and PJ, we keep each other on our toes. I love it. But again, thank you so much, Kay. Wow, that is huge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Example: if someone went to prison and was locked up 23 hours a day, how would they heal? They would heal because they wouldn't have any access to electronics, and they would probably get bored of the subject, right? They'd probably get bored of the subject, I would say, and they would have no access to any compulsions. There'd be no access to forums or Google. There would be no access to binge watching anxiety content 24 hours a day. There would be no access to any sort of compulsions, right? So more than likely, they would get so bored of the subject, and there would be nothing they could do to really run from it. There would be no sort of physical compulsions. There would be no sort of calling friends and talking about anxiety. There'd be no sort of any sort of physical compulsions that would be available, right? So there'd be absolutely no running from it. It would just be a complete facing it. And that's the thing. If that's the situation you was in and that was your life and that's the only way that you could live your life because you were in your example you say locked up 23 hours a day, well that is your life. You're now confined to that space. So that's your life. You would have to make the most of it. You would have to make the most of it, and there's no way that you could use any sort of real compulsions to try to ease your anxiety because there would be nothing available to you, right? So when we say live your life to people that are not locked up 23 hours a day, that simply means drop the physical compulsions, live the life, right? Live your life. Live your life. So positive behavior is nothing more than just whatever you're working with, make the most of it, live your life, right? However that may be. However that may be. PJ's diving deep in this, dude. He is diving deep in this. See, I can tell you right now, just from talking to you, the whole reason that you feel the way you do is that you've dove way too deep into the two main keys, and you're trying to find some hidden agenda. And there's really no hidden agenda. When we say live your life, it needs to be taken at face value. It needs to be taken at face value. When we say positive behavior, it needs to be taken at face value. And when we say face value, we simply mean live your life. Whether that's sitting around and watching your favorite movie, do anything but your compulsions, which is the Google, the anxiety content 24/7. It's make the most of what you got. So the two main keys really need to be taken at face value. When we say live your life, when we say don't fight as much with the negative thoughts, they need to be taken at face value. Stop looking for some hidden agenda, right? Right? Stop looking for some secret meaning. Stop looking for some thing that you're doing wrong. When we say live your life, literally, just live your life. If anxiety wants you to lay around on the couch all day, okay, well then just go live your life instead, right? So you're locked up 23 hours a day, and anxiety wants you to obsess about it. Then just sit up on your bed and read a book, right? It's all about just not fighting with your thoughts and feelings, and just doing what you want to do, not what the anxiety wants you to do, right? Right? So everyone's situation is a bit different. Everybody's living situation is a bit different. But you have to work with what you've got. And if anxiety wants you to do this, do that. Right? Right? The brain knows no different. It picks up on yeah. But it's getting easier though, so you're definitely making progress. You're definitely making progress. So guys, by the way, Abraham, thank you so much for the $5 tip. Says, LOL, let's round it up. Let's round it up. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, dude. For real, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, anyway, to continue to elaborate kind of on this point, which was an interesting point to make, PJ, I don't want anyone to try to look for some hidden agenda, which tells me that's what you're doing when you are in your head thinking things like, well, if I was locked up 23 hours a day, how would I use the two main keys? Right? Really, there is no hidden agenda. There is no hidden agenda. The two main keys: live your life. So if that's your life, you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to do what you can do, right? If that's your life, you're going to have to live with it. So there's no hidden agenda to the two main keys. Live your life simply means live your life. And if, God forbid, you ever find yourself in a situation where you're locked up 23 hours a day, then you're just going to have to live your life with what you've got, right? And chances are you might be less anxious because you don't have access to anxiety material anymore, right? So you're not binge watching videos 24 hours a day, right? You don't have access to physical compulsions anymore. So God forbid you ever find yourself in that situation, it might be better for you. Uh, but you get what I'm saying. So when it comes to the two main keys, there's no hidden agenda. There's no hidden agenda. You're working with what you got, whatever your situation might be, locked up 23 hours a day or living at home, whatever the situation might be, you're working with what you got, you're living your life, you're doing what you can, but you're not doing anything to fuel the anxiety, aka fighting with the thoughts, obsessing about anxiety, obsessing about recovery. You're just living your life, whatever your life may be, whatever situation you find yourself in. You're living your life to the best of your ability with what you're given, with what you've got, and you're no longer fighting with all of those negative thoughts, right? So I hope that makes sense. That was a good question. But I can tell you, just from talking to you, dude, take it from me, at this point in your recovery, you're just obsessing about doing something wrong. You're just obsessing about maybe there's a hidden agenda that you're not figuring out. There's nothing for you to figure out. There's nothing for you to get right. Just keep living your life and quit fighting with the negative thoughts, right? Whatever your situation may be, make the most of it and quit fighting with the thoughts, right? There you go. That's it. So, interesting question. I'm glad you asked it. We still talking about these current? I'm lost. Sadly missed this stream. We're just hanging out. Hopefully it'll get uploaded. I don't know why it got all fricked up yesterday, but hopefully it'll upload just fine today. I don't really know what happened with yesterday's stream, but you're amazing, dude. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're amazing. No, you're amazing. I agree with you 110%, Blake. The reason why we are anxious for so long is that we try to prove to our thoughts that our thoughts are wrong, but we can't. We can't prove that something is not true. We cannot prove that Santa Claus isn't real. So what you're kind of saying is there's no point in fighting with the thoughts because uncertainty happens. Life happens sometimes, right? Now, that doesn't mean that most of these thoughts aren't irrational because they probably are. But at the same time, you're never going to convince yourself without a shadow of a doubt that everything is just going to be hunky dory because life doesn't work that way and your mind is always going to say, yeah, but what if? So you can't really win that argument with your mind. And that's why you got to stop fighting with it, period, because you're wasting your time and you're making yourself stressed, right? Right? So absolutely 110% agree with Blake's comment. And that's why that's one of the two main keys is to stop fighting with your thoughts, right? That's one of the two. That's why that's one of the two main keys is to stop fighting with your thoughts, because you can never convince your mind without a shadow of a doubt that you are in complete control, because you're not, and you're going to have to face that and accept that. You can never convince your mind without a shadow of a doubt that said thing won't happen. You know, what are the chances of a meteorite crashing through my roof right now and landing directly on my head? Not very high, but who knows? And at some point, we've got to realize that we're making ourselves miserable trying to get this control that we really don't have. In fact, I would go out on a limb and I would say that most anxiety issues are based in the fact and rooted in the reality that we have control issues, right? So that's why that's one of the two main keys is to stop fighting with those thoughts, because you can't win that fight against those thoughts. Because there's no way you'll ever be able to convince yourself without a shadow of a doubt, right? But what you are doing in the meantime is completely stressing yourself out and giving these thoughts importance and telling your brain that there's a danger where there is not currently present, right? So that's why that's one of the two main keys. That's an excellent comment. How you doing, Arlene? I used the two main keys before and they really work. That's awesome, dude. Can I watch this later? Hopefully, if it gets uploaded correctly. I don't know. Yesterday's stream did not get uploaded correctly, so I don't. Hopefully, that doesn't happen today, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it was like 2 minutes. It was like 2 minutes worth of the stream got uploaded, and I'm not really sure why. It was like a glitch in the system, man. I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys, we're approaching that hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Excellent stream. Hopefully, we made up for yesterday's stream. All right. Excellent stream. Hopefully, we made up for yesterday's stream. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so, so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I really, really do. I love you guys. We are so close to 10K. So close to 10K. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next stream and or video. All right. I love you guys.